Welcome back to another episode of Leap Forward with Riesterer Schnell, where we talk about real-world insights, equipment, and solutions to help you get more out of your operation. Today we got some impact tools that we're looking to talk to you guys on, making equipment ownership easier with the right tools, such as Equipment Mobile. So today with me is Amanda Andrick from John Deere, and if you could please introduce yourself, Amanda.
Yeah, thanks, Wyatt. So my name is Amanda Andrick, and I have the opportunity each day to talk to our customers about Equipment Mobile and the value that it can bring within their organization, especially specifically in our turf industry, both with our professional landscape contractors and our homeowners.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, with the growing technology and guys and people getting more into app-based solutions, I believe Equipment Mobile is going on the right track at getting customers what they're looking for. So let's start out with what customers want today. Hearing from our customer base, whether it's homeowners, large property, acreage owners, or some of those commercial operators, what are they really looking for with an Equipment Mobile solution?
Yeah, Equipment Mobile really allows customers to have information no matter the time of day, whether it's 8 a.m. in the morning, midnight, or where they're at on the weekend. And so Equipment Mobile is a great opportunity for customers to get that information wherever they're at, anytime, anywhere. And so there's a lot of content that's within Equipment Mobile and allows you to access that's pin specific. So if you know your machine serial number, it's included in the app. All the information that you get is 100% curated to you. So I think that's when I think about what we do, even in how we use apps every day, right? Is how easy does it make it when the information is just right there for you?
Correct. Yes. Yep. Being able to just pull up your phone and find all that, and like you said, machine specific makes that very easy and user friendly for the customers. And I mean, we see folks come into the store here today, and and then there's also ones out there that just want to be able to find that solution right away as they're working through some part searches and maybe looking. We got customers all in between the middle there as well. What are some real world friction points that we see? Maybe a common scenario is someone's working at their shop or they're out on the job and they might need something like a part or some information. How does that time could slow them down, and what can the Equipment Mobile really provide for time value there?
Yeah, so Equipment Mobile, I think your example with the parts, a great one of the features within Equipment Mobile is shop.deere.com. So the ability for a customer to not only purchase those parts from you as a dealer, to have those picked up, shipped to them, depending on the way that they want to pick those parts up, but they can understand by looking at the parts diagrams for their piece of equipment in Equipment Mobile, that they know they're getting the right part from the very beginning. And so it's not only that, but it's also having access to all the operators' manuals digitally. So being able to just pull those up on your phone using the AI search to be able to look inside of them of, hey, I need to understand how to change my blades on my mower today. And then I need to know what blades I need to do to make that maintenance item happen, right? And so by having both of those within inside of Equipment Mobile, it's all digital, right? So it's easy to do, whether it's on your couch on a weekday evening at 8 p.m. when you're trying to think through what you're going to do for the weekend, being able to know how I'm going to do it and then what I need to do to make it happen is all within Equipment Mobile. And then being able to purchase those parts for you to ship them out, to have them ready for the weekend versus maybe having to go into the store during business hours where it might not meet their needs.
Yeah, no, that makes it very time consuming or less time consuming for the operator of that equipment, maybe the maintenance crew guy, the ownership of that fleet or crew, to make sure that they're getting, like you said, the right part at the right time, whether like they're getting it delivered to the house or would they prefer to pick it up at the dealership and go from there. So if we shifted to some solutions, what are some ways the customers can make like that whole experience smoother? And we always push, connected machines with JD-Link or the smart connectors. But it seems like Equipment Mobile can be a great solution for everybody out there, whether they do have a connected machine or not.
Absolutely. And to your point, Equipment Mobile is for everybody, whether your machine is brand new, it is older, right? The content and things that are available within Equipment Mobile is open to all pieces of equipment, whether the machine is connected or not, right? There's a lot of value that a connected machine brings, and even being able to see that updated hours information within Equipment Mobile and understanding maintenance tracking are great ways to do that. But as long as Equipment Mobile is on your phone, you have your John Deere account with your pieces of equipment loaded in there. Equipment Mobile can add value, whether it's a brand new piece of equipment that you just bought here recently, or something that's 5 or 10 years old that you have pride in every day that you use.
Yeah, and one thing nice about the app that I've noticed is the barcode scanner tool. So whether, just simply pulling your phone up to the barcode and scanning that, getting that equipment loaded into your profile, and then you're just off to the races from there.
Yeah, especially just the one time you need to do it, right? You don't have to keep going back every time you need content. Oh, what was that? What was my serial number again? I don't remember, right? I have to go back out to my machine. Once you've added it and then you're good to go.
Yeah, we've touched on like meeting customers where they're at, like whether their perspective is that they like to come to the dealership, or they like to just make sure that that stuff is easily accessible to them, and giving those customers that option and that flexibility there. So what does that mean in your perspective?
Yeah, I think the ability to have content and information where they're at. I think that helps. I think of for example, you have a homeowner maybe that's listening here today that does all their work on the weekends, right? Saturdays and Sundays are their free days. They're the days that they love to be, out on their land and doing the improvements that they love to do. And by being able to do, what they need to do from the weekend start and the weekend end, it gives them the flexibility to do the things that they want to do on the time that's available for them. And having that convenience, I think, is the key thing to, making that that time that they're spending, right, with their family or working on their land important to them. And I think that's the flexibility that just the digital ecosystem gives us with the content and tools and videos right there on your fingertips, make a big difference in not only helping you maintain your piece of equipment, but set up, use, and operate it. That happens, each and every time you pull out that machine.
Awesome. Yeah, how does that, like on the dealership side, let's reflect on that and see how these tools are working how customers work alongside the dealership, and maintaining, that dealership relationship as well there, and making sure that it's, that you talked about that ecosystem, that we're all working together and making sure that all the solutions are provided for the customers.
Absolutely. And inside of Equipment Mobile, you have that when you have your John Deere account, you have the ability to partner with your local dealer. And by partnering with your local dealer, or the dealer of your choice, right, you have the ability not only to, as you think of ordering parts from shop.deere.com, Riesterer Schnell would automatically be, the dealer of choice, where your parts would be picked up from the location that is closest to you or to be shipped out. And so that ability for the dealer, for you guys to have all that content goes a long way to help continuing to ensure that customer's relationship. I think another one that I think is a great example that I hear is, when you come into the parts counter, it's always, what's your serial number, right? I don't know
Yep.
what my piece of equipment is. But having Equipment Mobile, that's a great way to be able to share that information with the folks at the dealership in person of, this is what I have. And I think that happens in a lot of things we do, right? It's like in the era of data, right? Is how do we make sure I know what that is, and I can help make sure that I get the right part when I walk in there. So I think there's the dealer is definitely very much integrated into your experience within Equipment Mobile, and how they can continue to help you support and maintain your fleet.
Yeah, and that's something I'm on the dealership side that we try to take, good pride in, is our parts support and service support for these customers. And like you said, with all the different build option codes that are out there and different machine configurations, having that serial number handy and making sure that the customers are getting the right part in a timely manner is definitely something that we strive to provide.
Yeah, and all those tools are available to customers through Equipment Mobile, and even owner support pages that are available online. So great content is out there, and ability for the customers to take those actions.
Awesome. What's one tool in the Equipment Mobile that you think is maybe undervalued, or maybe just not to the forefront of customers' perspectives that would like to touch on today?
Yep, I think the one that is most commonly used is the operator's manuals and using the AI search to find content in the operator's manual. So definitely, if you haven't checked that out, definitely go out and get into Equipment Mobile with your serial number and use that. It's a great way to not have to look through every single page, right, to see what you're trying to find. It's asking the question of how much oil do I need for my oil change today, and finding that content. So the operator manuals are a great resource. But the other one that I think is under maybe not as well known is the maintenance, and not only maybe the maintenance tracking. So if you just have a single machine, and tracking is probably not as much of maybe what you want to think about, but knowing exactly what you need to do and what you need to have at each maintenance interval is super important or super valuable, right? So hey, I know it's spring. I'm trying to
Yep.
get ready for the season, right? Trying to get the mower ready for the year, for example. By going into Equipment Mobile, you can see exactly for that maintenance interval that you need to do. So maybe my machine had 100 hours approximately, and I want to get it ready for the season. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do and what you need from a parts perspective do you need to purchase. And so that's just a great way to not have to know what you need to do, but being like, okay, these are the steps that I need to take, or these are the key things that I need to take. Maybe if it's inspecting, right? Like, yep, I'm good to go for these 5 things this year. But having all of that right at your fingertips, and then being able to order those parts through shop.deere.com if you do need them, right? If you're inspection or, do an oil change as part of that. So I think that's a huge thing, is the maintenance and just knowing what I need to do to maybe start the year off fresh, or I know that's over 500 hours. Where's my 500-hour interval? Like, that's what I look at. So I think a maintenance is a great one that's in Equipment Mobile, that can add a lot of value to a customer.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I've been using that tool, or been showing customers that tool is, yeah, you go to your maintenance interval, it says, check your belts, change your fuel filter, change your oil, whatever the service interval is requesting at that time for the hours based on the unit, and then provides the exact part numbers needed for that customer. So very sweet integration there. And you touched on the AI integration that's built into the operator's manual, and that's something that's been fairly recent in the last couple of years. So I would encourage customers that have used the Equipment Mobile in the past, and to start utilizing that AI search tool, because there's great value there. And kind of like we talked on, is where the technology is advancing and where the consumer base is getting more user friendly on these mobile applications, how we could just streamline everything that's available to us and just make it a little bit easier and less time consuming, to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, and also within Equipment Mobile, there's quite a few different tools and resources depending upon the equipment that you have. So being able to, for a compact utility tractor customer, able to understand what attachments or implements I can fit my piece of equipment, to guides to help you get started for the season. There's a lot of content that's very unique to the piece of product that you have. So if you haven't taken a look at Equipment Mobile, content's always being added to help support and help you set up, operate, and maintain and use your machine. So definitely take that an opportunity to go check out content, that it's always refreshing and coming new.
Awesome. One thing that I like best on the Equipment Mobile is that it's a free application, and it's there for the consumers of the John Deere products to take full utilization of. And we at Riesterer Schnell try to provide really good upfront information to our customer base about the Equipment Mobile application. And I know you guys at John Deere do a great job, whether it's your YouTube videos or different campaigns to kind of push that. So what is there anything you could tell us about some future stuff that might be coming down the pipeline for Equipment Mobile?
I say definitely keep your eyes open. I think as we continue to grow Equipment Mobile, there's always new features and functionalities that are being developed to help the customer have access to that content and information. So whether that's easier to find things or different tools and resources that are available. So definitely keep your eye out for new features that just will continue to help you have more content available at your hands easily in the app.
Awesome. Well, at the end of the day, it's all about making sure that the owner of of the John Deere piece of equipment that they have has an easier, ownership perspective there, whether it's maintenance tracking, ordering parts, proactive maintenance and maintenance planning and scheduling. But like you said, at the end of the day, whether you're a customer that is very user friendly with your phone, would prefer to come into the dealership and talk to the parts counter or the service guys. It's just about having the right tools in the right place to support the customer. So, Amanda, it's been great having you here today, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wyatt.
And thank you all for listening to another episode of Leap Forward with Riesterer Schnell. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.
We're your John Deere dealer coming through for you, Riesterer and Schnell.